Good afternoon, I'm James Lakeland. We have launched our brand internationally this season. Our business has been going for 20 years. We kind of took a foray into the international market probably 10 years ago. We've sold in the Arab countries, the Gulf states, we sold in Greece, we've sold in America in small ways. What we have done actually this year is that obviously my brand is a British brand, but it's a made in Italy brand. And we are launching with the Queen department stores in Milan. I'll just move this forward. This is our new campaign for autumn-winter. So selling abroad, what are the main questions that one wants to sell abroad? Lots of brands in the UK would love to be selling to lots of different countries and open up different markets. How is one going to achieve this? Well, we're opening our concessions in Queen in Rome and Queen in Milan. Our position is going to be next to Ralph Lauren and Max Mara. The two brands had to decide which brand would sit well next to them. They wanted a modern, forward-thinking brand, but which dressed women which were 30 to 60 in age group. Very much, how did I gain that sort of knowledge and actually get in there? Well, I did Milan Fashion Week for over 10 years. I also have visited the different shows around Europe. I think Coach in New York is a very important brand, sort of as in terms of a show for you to go to watch if you want to export in America. America is a very big market and you need to make sure that you've got the right contacts there. For me, I wanted to sell my Made in Italy product in Italy, but obviously with the English brand, that's important. So the next foray for me will probably be the French department stores and then independent standalone boutiques. But what are the three major fundamental things that you need? You need brand identity. You need people who understand what position you are in the market. And then you need the department stores or the independent boutiques, the wholesale parts, to actually acquire a taste of your brand, try it out, and then build it up to make it successful. So moving on from here, the edit. Now, every country has got a different look. Obviously, what I sell in the UK is very different to what I sell in Ireland, and is very different to what I have sold internationally in the past. So what we did, an edit for Italy. This is very much an Italian look. Having said that, in the middle, that piece is something that we would sell in Ireland as well. We'd sell that in the UK. That would be a generic piece which would sell, let's say, across Europe as well. We've also had contact with Australia, with a showroom who came to the show, who came to Pure. So at Pure, you've got the possibility of meeting different people who've got different realities, different retail realities, internet realities. Now, with the internet, your brand can be viewed worldwide, because they can go onto your website and everybody's checking everybody out. If you're not using a website or your own sort of Facebook or social media or Twitter or Instagram, you're losing a trick. That's not even a discussion anymore. Most boutiques have got their own websites and their own Facebooks and their own Twitters, and every brand needs to be available and seen on the internet. We do I'd say over 500 photos per year. And we are increasing our budgets. We are increasing our budgets on stylists, on hair and makeup, on the product that we put on the internet. We have separated what we do, internet, retail, wholesale, so that we capture all three different markets. But you need to be realistic that the market now is 360 degrees multi-channel. So being a multi-channel market, you have your edit. This is the edit which we do for Milan and Rome. Then you have your edit, what you would do on the wholesale side. Then you have your edit, what you sell on the internet. The internet last week was my biggest store. Last week was fundamentally always the 1st to the 7th of August is a very quiet time in retail, unless you're in Harrods and Harvey Nichols and you've got the fortunate moment of a princess walking in and spending £250,000 in 20 minutes. That's not my case, unfortunately. So last week we sold on the internet over, I think, probably 300 garments, and it was people who were abroad, on holiday, at home, doesn't matter where they were buying online. they were buying the new edit, and they were buying the last pieces on sale. So actually, your brand could be sold at 3 o'clock in the morning, or at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, or from a beach in the south of France, or from a bedroom in Walsall. You know, that's the way that business is going. So, target markets. For my target market, and these are the photographs that we're doing for next spring, summer, my customer is a contemporary woman. She's a sophisticated woman. I'm not trying to compete with the high street. I can't compete with Next, Primark, BHS, Marks and Spencer's. Impossible. I'm not competing with them. I've created a niche of customers. They are 25, 30 plus. They want to have something off the high street. They want to have something unique. They want to have something which they can only find in a small way. Now, we manufacture in Italy, and we're also manufacturing 200-300 pieces per style. We're not manufacturing 30,000 or 40,000 pieces per style. Therefore, quite unique, very much our customers are looking for the quirky, the luxurious, the fit is really important. And that is how we launched ourselves. That's how we managed to grow our brand. I've got 25 shops and concessions between, you know, Manchester, Glasgow, Wimslow, Richmond, St John's Wood High Street, Marylebone High Street. We've been in Wimbledon. So we're looking at all different areas. Our areas are probably more middle to affluent, and we're very, very clear who our market is. We're not trying to sell sort of 300 garments a day. That's not what we're doing. We're not a low-level brand. We're middle to premium. It's got to look very, very premium. And that is definitely the markets which are going to be attractive for the future. Which is the area I would love to sell in? I would love to sell in Asia. I think Asia would be a brilliant area for us. India, Thailand, China, Japan. We need to have the right agents, the right wholesalers, and the right companies to work with us. So that is not something that you do in a few months. That is something that you really have to study. You have to plan out. You need to plan where you want to go. You need to plan who can I sell to. There's lots of different ways of doing it. I think one country at a time. I've made my mistakes. I've had agents in France. I've had agents in Milan. I've had agents in Holland. I've had agents in Spain. You've got to create a working relationship with these agents, and they've got to push your brand. They've got to try it. Don't try to have aims which are too high. Don't try to sort of boom and bust. Build up a business which can be successful over a period of time. That's why we're now taking this risk, which is 2 concessions in Milan. We're going to have our own staff, well, between Milan and Rome. We'll have our own staff. We'll do our own training. We'll have a very, very dedicated team just dealing with those 2 concessions. If those 2 concessions there work, we will then up it next year to 4. At the same time, we're looking at different department stores in France, Galeries Lafayette, which is very important, but you must visit the stores. You must know who your market is. There's no point trying to attract a market which then is not going to bring you any reward. You need to understand who the customers are. Like the Italians, their economy is not in recovery like we are, but they're fashion addicts. They are. So they love new brands. They love quality. They want something very trendy, very quirky. There's a few brands I've seen around this show this time, which could definitely work in certain areas. They could definitely work in America, in New York. I could see quite a few of the trendy brands working. I could see some of the brands here also working in Paris and Milan, because that customer is always looking for something different. So really, you've got to bring your product, and you've got to understand where your target market is. I think we're nearly at the end. Well, this was Vogue India. This year, we've got a double-page spread with our dress. It's a pair of Louboutin shoes, and it's a Lanvin belt. That is a kind of PR sort of recognition that we're getting as a brand. It was very difficult because the stylist had to okay it with Louboutin, with Lanvin. All these brands are fighting, saying, I don't want Armani to sit next to Prada. I don't want Dior to sit next to Gucci, because they all have this massive competition. Fortunate for me, my dress fitted within this double page spread, and that kind of recognition then opens up a whole massive new ball game. That dress was then available on the internet. So the customers from India, boom, saw that double page spread immediately onto our social media. Our customers who from India travel to London and live in St John's Wood or Marylebone or Mayfair immediately wanted the it dress of the season because they've got the recognition of the Vogue branding. And I think that is very important. The PR that you have, whatever PR you've had, you know, or imagery or branding that you have, push it. Push that branding, because that is what will make you successful and will get that dress sold. We sold out of the dress, by the way.